Nice move. All right.
Coach, can you really make money just by changing your thinking?
You know, Phil, you really can. Learning how to think is one of the most challenging things a human being can do in life. And I don't know where in society you can learn how to think. You're certainly not going to learn how to think in school. You didn't have incredible parents or mentors that came along and sat down with you and said, look, this is how we make decisions, this is how we evaluate, this is how we discover, this is how we study, this is how we practice. All these things go into thinking differently. Making better decisions will lead to more winning results. When you start getting, Phil, winning results in your life, we all suffer from self-esteem issues. And so when you start to make better decisions and get better results, it has a positive effect on your self-esteem. And it leads to a higher self-confidence. When you have a higher self-confidence, now you can accomplish anything. When you believe in yourself, you can accomplish anything. Well, that's why I wrote the book, The Thinking Room. It's my story. And my story is about a guy with an average IQ, a guy that came up with no father, struggled, grew up in a very poor neighborhood, and has been able to accomplish a lot because I started to teach myself how to think over 20 years ago. So yes, the answer to your question, yes, yes, yes. Thinking for yourself, becoming your own leader. Look, when you can lead yourself, now you can lead other people. Yeah, that's the answer, yes, to the question. Can you make money? Buy my book, The Thinking Room.
Wow. You know what? I'm ready to make that move right now. Check.
Oh, no!
So, Coach, tell me a little more about
the thinking room. Yeah, the thinking room. Well, here's one of the myths. You can't chase success and you can't chase money. Success and money find you when you're ready. So there are techniques, there are tasks that need to be completed, but more importantly, there are techniques to winning in life. One of those techniques is learning how to think for yourself, learning how to make better decisions, learning how to provide leadership to yourself. When you can provide leadership to yourself, Phil, now you can provide leadership to other people. It starts with the ability to think for yourself. So in my book, In the Thinking Room, I talk about my story. I'm a guy with an average IQ. I'm a guy that grew up with no father. I grew up in a very poor circumstances. I taught myself how to think. I taught myself the techniques that were required to have a life. I started reading books. I started, I'd buy a dictionary and I would improve my vocabulary by learning words that I needed to use in the real business world. So in my book, In the Thinking Room, there's a lot of techniques and I talk about those techniques. One of the techniques is what I call count to 10 and win. I've used this now for the last 20 plus years. When I have a problem to solve, I will sit down and I will start counting backwards, 10, 9, 8. Rarely do I ever get to number 1. So when you think about a solution to a problem, you write it down. So by the time you get to the 10th solution, you probably figured out a pathway to solving that problem. So in my book, In the Thinking Room, I give you the techniques. I talk about the various tasks that are required to get to the end goal. And the end goal, quite frankly, is to teach yourself how to think better so you can provide leadership to yourself. And once you start providing leadership to yourself, you can now provide leadership to everybody else, people in your family, your friends, your business associates. Other people see it. They feel your karma. They know that you're providing leadership to yourself. Now the universe sees something in you that it doesn't see in other people. And you know what it is? Is that you have observed the laws of success. There are laws of success and there's universal laws. Those laws have to come together in the thinking process. Then, when the universe knows you're ready, money will appear. Success will appear because the laws of success are being honored. The laws of the universe are being observed. So in the Thinking Room, I talk about these things.
All right. How do I make money now?
Well, if you're serious, that's a great question. In my book, in the thinking room, I lay it out. Look, if you're going to climb the tallest mountain in the world, would you not go get a guide? Would you not look at the supplies that you need? You need food, you need oxygen, so you need tools. Well, life works the same way. In the business world, you've got to have the right techniques. If you're climbing your mountain of success, you're not going to climb a mountain straight up. You're going to climb a mountain, switch back and forth. Well, business and life work similar. You take little tiny steps, but each one of those steps has to be measured and managed. And in my book, The Thinking Room, I talk about how to do that, how to measure, how to manage, how to practice. All the little things that you need to do, all the little techniques are in my book. When you can take on the responsibility of making better decisions, you're going to get better winning results. So the bottom line is that learning how to think for yourself is going to create for yourself new pathways to solving problems. It's going to create a different energy level in your life. Look, the brain runs everything, including your body. So your spiritual part of your life, the physical part of your life, the mental part of your life, and the emotional part of your life all starts with your ability to think differently. When you make better choices, Phil, you're going to get better results. When you make better choices, you're going to get better results. Part of what I talk about in my book is I got mentored. My life changed over a 10-hour period because a mentor took a personal interest in me. Life is more complex than it has ever been before. And in every community, there are successful people. They will reach out to you if you'll reach out first. You ready?
Hey, I didn't even know you could play.
Well, another life hopefully saved, another life hopefully will prosper by reading the book in the thinking room. And you know, put a lot of effort into the site. It's called coachthebrain.com, and there's no question in my mind that teaching myself how to think differently changed my life forever. Now I have a life of abundance. I have the life that most people dream of, just because I taught myself how to think differently. I taught myself how to make better choices. And when you make better choices, you make better decisions. And making those better decisions has got me winning results. And we all are challenged with self-esteem issues. We're all challenged with self-confidence issues. And now that I'm able to have the confidence because my winning decisions are on a daily basis now, I've taught myself the techniques. I've taught myself how to create the tasks that are necessary to complete my short-term goals and my medium-term goals and my long-term goals, all from thinking differently. So check it out, coachthebrain.com. Might be something that can help you too. All right, have a great day. coachthebrain.com, check it out. coachthebrain.com, check it out. See you down the road.